MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. Weekend all over.
Yes, it's Monday. All day.
It will be. And surprisingly, you might have grandkids today, especially if you're at home and the parents have to work and they just kind of drove up and shoved them out in your yard. Help me out.
Yeah, school's out today. It's President's Day, I think.
Yeah. You will not be able to, and keep this in mind, banks and like courthouses are going to be closed. So don't show up thinking that you're going to get some help because it ain't going to be there. They're enjoying a day off today.
I wonder if anybody pulled up at the school just not knowing, you know.
There's always
I'm
that
sure there's
one
people
person.
that are going to, they don't keep up with the holidays, you know. They just pull on up. And,
Well, I like to got into a boo-boo Saturday morning. I was sitting here working, and I just happened to look down at the corner of my screen, and it said February 20th. I thought, that day, there's something about that. And then it dawned on me, it was my mama's birthday, and I didn't have no cake. And I had to scramble. You can't get somebody to make a cake at the last minute. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you how it really is out there in the real world.
Yeah. Thank goodness there are places that have cakes already made.
Yeah, I almost ended up with the Pepperidge Farm. That was going to be the last resort, but it would have been better than nothing. But I don't know how that happened this year. I normally am well prepared, got the cake made with names on it and all that, but not this year. So,
Sam's has got some good stuff kind of going on out there, too, every now and then. You
get a good cake, huh? Let's see. Things that are going on over the weekend. Well, there was a lot that happened in the Meridian area as well. I want to start with this. Now, I did this earlier this morning, and I thought I would share it with you, what's going on locally. We're a few days late on this. I got the information late Friday, and I brought this up earlier this morning. But a shooting happened in Meridian on Thursday afternoon while we were covering severe weather. Kind of how I missed out on all that, didn't know about it. And by Friday afternoon, I got the message. This is Northgate Apartments, Highway 39. As we go up, and let me show you where the bullets come through. I'm told that roughly 6 cars were shot in the parking lot. And then an apartment on the inside got damaged. And this is what it looks like. You see that?
Yeah.
Right there. That's where the bullet entered. Yeah, and that's in the background. You can see where the cars were parked and got shot. And then you backtrack on this. This is the bullet holes in the wall after it come through the window. Imagine living in that.
Oh, yeah.
So police are investigating it. It's not over. Hopefully they'll make an arrest on this. They're getting statements from witnesses and investigating.
Yeah, hopefully they find who that was.
Yeah.
Glad nobody was injured. I don't guess they were.
No, not to my knowledge. But it's a miracle that something worse didn't happen with that. Will Garret Road, if you traveled this is the scene of it. And, of course, you can visit our website at Sam Media Network and read all about all of this and more headlines here. But Will Garret is going to be closed starting today. They're going to start doing bridge repairs. Now, they say 4 to 6 weeks. I'd give it the latter part of that. You know how construction goes and delays happen. But a portion of it's going to be shut down. And that's just part of it. And as I mentioned, I think they're in the process before long of the Button Gun Road. Okay. That is a next scheduled bridge that's going to have some issues. Listen to me, issues.
Yeah, that one's in kind of a bad curve, too. Yeah. You know.
They'll block that down, so that's up and coming. Over the weekend, also, Clark County, we had a life that was lost in a single vehicle wreck. As we went down there, a Mustang driver was killed. A single car hit a tree, ran off the road. And we go to Clark County Hot Topics to show that. Those happen. In Jackson, they had somebody that was ejected from the car that was killed over the weekend. Horrible there. We also go back to Clark County Hot Topics for the wreck that happened this weekend. And if you didn't see this, I played this earlier. Here's a scene from I-59 this weekend. An 18-wheeler overturned. It was by the Savoy exit at the Clark-Lauderdale County line. The truck was actually part of the...
I was waiting to see what this thing's fixing to do.
It was
pretty hot.
Fire.
Anyway, driver's fine. He's back here behind me on his phone talking to his company.
But the frozen
right
chicken, I think, that was inside is not going to make it to the store.
We're on the Clark-Lauderdale line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awful.
It was
on I-59.
ferocious.
This is the southbound side you're looking at.
Driving one of those big big rigs and having a wreck or something in it. And
A lot of people do that for a living. It again, for me, it wouldn't be the living for me. I'm not, but it's just like radio and any other thing that once it gets in your blood, you love the sound of that diesel shifting. I know a lot of guys that do it.
Yes.
They eat it up. Now, also, we had more happen over the weekend as we go to more stories around the area. Armed robbery in Meridian. If you're not aware, this was about Meridian's best kept secret over the weekend. As we go back to this, a robbery did occur at the Sefco gas station, 22nd Avenue. That's officially called Roebuck Drive, but 22nd Avenue exit, the Sefco on top of the hill. A black male entered the store on Saturday night. He walks up. Now, they park around back near the dumpsters. They walk in the store. He never says a word and slides a note to the cashier and notifies her that it's a robbery. Demands all the money. Well, he did get all the money, but what criminals don't realize overnight in stores, they carry very, very little amount of money. $43 could get him jail time in the big house. $43. Now, fortunately, he wasn't one of those that he never brandished the gun.
Right.
He did have it in his pocket, or it appeared to be in the pocket, according to the video, from what everybody is saying. But not worth going to prison, $43.
Or losing your life, because, I mean, there's some clerks that don't play, you know.
And
they're ready for stuff like that.
And eventually, you know, you see it, and I've brought this up before in other states, you see this to where they put the cashiers that have to work overnight in bulletproof glass to where criminals can't hurt them. Will that eventually start being a part of every convenience store? It almost needs to be. And a button to push.
A metal detector at the door.
Yeah, but a button to push to lock all the doors, and then they're inside there, and then he can't leave.
Yeah.
That would stop a lot.
I saw, it was a video one time, and I don't know if it was a nail salon or something that somebody tried to rob, and they did have some kind of a remote thing that locked the door, and the guy was stuck in there. He didn't know what to do. And he was trying to bust the door out.
Yeah.
But I think they caught him though. But.
Well, there was a gentleman that was doing his late night. This happened in Texas. He went up to go grocery shopping to get some cereal, and they locked him in the store and left. They shut the store down 10 minutes early. The cashier had a hot date, and she was the only one working, and she closed up early. He had to call police, and they eventually got him out of the store, but he was kind of trapped in there going. And it was funny watching the video of him realizing he was it.
Yeah. Goodness.
That'd be a bad feeling, too, there. But that's a few of the stories that happened there. Now, also over the weekend, let's see here some other things that went on. Had a little over at the Sefco, not the Sefco, but over at the store in Center Hill over the weekend at the Shell station, had a hit and run.
Oh, goodness.
Guy went in the store to get something. He come back, somebody backed into his car. They drove off. It was a lady.
Oh, goodness.
I
Wasn't
guess.
me.
Where were you?
It wasn't me. I was either at Lowe's or at the house.
Oh, one of the two, trying to get some parts
I feel like
there.
we've been living in Lowe's for.
They like you to do that.
I swear. It's just crazy. We're trying to get these little projects done.
Yeah.
I say we. I'm not the one doing the work. My husband is. I'm the supervisor.
Bet that goes over well.
No, he probably wishes I'd just leave the house.
Be a great place for a Home Depot, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just saying. There's another store, but, well, they never have anything. Yeah, I'm not calling any names out. We also had shots reported. And, again, shots reported doesn't mean anything was hurt or damaged. No one hurt, but also in the 46th Avenue area, also the 600 block of 49th Avenue over the weekend. Some areas back there behind Skate Odyssey, back in that area there, gunshots reported. No one was arrested, and, again, no one was hurt. But that was a few of the things that went on over the weekend. Thought you might want to know that.
Jan gives us a little thing. I saw this, and I was so proud of her. We need to give kudos to a young lady in Meridian, Ava Grace Temple. This is Jan Bushman's granddaughter. She won the Lauderdale County's Distinguished Young Woman of the Year title.
Wow. I have to see a picture. I haven't seen this yet.
And it was at the Riley Center Saturday night. She won. She was beautiful. I saw the pictures. Beautiful.
Jan, I didn't know about this, but again, congratulations. I know you're tickled to death.
Yes.
So, wow. Those are a few of the things shaking this morning. It seems like I had a couple of more things that were locally happening. Let's see here what I've got here. That's not it. That's not it either. You brought this up on the weekend. Miranda Lambert's guitar player.
I saw that. It was Miranda Lambert's guitarist he's been her guitarist for a long time. It says 20 years, but I didn't know she'd been in the business that long. But anyway, he's been a guitarist for years and years. Colin Ray's brother, Scotty Ray is his name.
Wow.
But he passed away. He'd had an illness for a while, and they said he passed away. So
Well, condolences to them. And I guess you go back to when the first time I met Blake, that would have been because Blake at the time was married to his road manager, which her name was Kat. And Miranda kind of liked him a little bit more than Kat did and took him away. And that would have been, now that you do the arithmetic, 20 years ago, easily.
okay, time flies.
It was over 20 the first time I met Blake. Wow, oh wow, oh wow. What does that tell us all?
Yeah, I think we're older than we thought we were, Scotty Ray.
It's scary. Shad White has been busy in the state of Mississippi, and he's that guy that keeps up with people that spend your state dollars. Are they doing it legally? Are they doing it right? Well, here's the arrest, and this time he gets the Hinds County election commissioner. And here's a picture of her. They've got her arrested for crimes of over $200,000 worth of embezzlement. That is a lot of cash.
Yeah.
Now, she also got someone else arrested who was a business partner of hers. As you dig deeper into this, time not worked, he was paid, TVs were bought. It's a mess. But an arrest has been made and a letter of demand has been sent for the cash back. We'll see how that turns back. But Shad White, that office has, maybe there's others that's held that office before, but I don't think they've put forth the effort like this little guy has.
Oh, yeah. Digging up the dirt, for sure.
Yeah.
So the election commissioner's office, what money would they, I guess I don't understand everything on all the different offices.
You have money that's spread out, to ballot boxes and all of this that is set up in each precinct that you spend money on for TVs, this, that, and the other to go in those. Okay. And I don't know as much as I should, but that's a rough estimate of it.
Okay. I just didn't know if there were donations to
money.
different things. Okay.
State money, and that got them in there. Let's see. Jennifer Lynn Bozeman says that the Clark County Tribune's Belinda Allen, and I saw that, won Ad of the Year through the Mississippi Press Convention Saturday. And that is a big deal.
Yeah.
So out of all the newspapers around, she did get that. Let me see if I can find that and show you a picture of her. Clark County Tribune. Let's see here. I think they had her picture up. Let me see if I can grab that. We got a lot of friends. Here she is. Right here. Let's pull up her picture. There she is. And congratulations to her.
Yes.
Always fine to see folks in Clark County do well. And again, she was up against a lot of bigger newspapers than the Clark County Tribune, but that's special.
That is. Congratulations. Really good.
I can't take pictures like you. She done a great ad. I'm not a great designer either. I try. Let's see. Gloria Ming says that she's with President Jimmy Carter right now, and he says to tell us good morning, and he is listening with her right now, watching us. Plains, Georgia. So a big salute on President's Day to former President Jimmy Carter.
Good morning to you, too.
What a deal, Jimmy Carter. And I remember that. That was the first time that I remember as a kid. I was 8 years old, and I can remember sitting in front of that little bitty TV that we had at the time as a kid and seeing him march down the aisle there and him stepping up on stage for the oath.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's been many a year ago. And then there was Amy. I don't know much about where Amy went afterwards, but she was the first time that you really saw a child, or at least in my lifetime, living at the White House. And that's where everybody made the connection. They've done a lot of reporting on her.
That would be neat.
Then we went on to Trump's children, and, well, they sure picked on him, but on the kids anyway, on Barron. But it is President's Day, so salute. Pretty neat there. Yes. Let's see here what we've got going on today in our area. This is getting bad for the University of Alabama. Say you've got the guy that is vice president of student life. Pretty big job. And then Saturday night, he gets busted in a sting of asking for prostitution. Doesn't look good on your resume. He has resigned. They did not fire him. He went ahead and resigned over that.
He needed to. That was not a good representation.
No, not of the university. So many people, that's a big deal for them. This was scary, and before we get into national, but this is just one of those things a lot of people can identify with. A Florida mom went to pick up her child from the daycare. Only thing is, when the mom was late, and a lot of places charge late by the minute.
Yeah.
Well, she was so late, they just locked the child in the place and went home.
The child had to have been in the bathroom, playing, hiding somewhere. I mean, I wouldn't think they would just purposely lock a child in there. But still, I mean, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, firefighters went in, and you look at this, they broke in, got her out. She's okay, but I would assume the daycare has got issues this morning in Florida.
Yes. When she's now 26.
Got locked in the bathroom?
No, she was on a field trip.
At 20?
No, when she was younger.
Okay, just try to clarify.
No, when she was in, I think she was in preschool. It was preschool. They went on a field trip. It was kind of a little private daycare area place. So they went on this field trip. There was there's a good many kids. It was around Easter. They did a little Easter egg hunt at somebody's house. Well, I was never told. I found out through the grapevine, I guess you'd say, that she was left at the house. The bus pulled off without her, was left at the house. They had to go back and get her, but nobody ever told me. I had to find it out.
Oops.
So this mama right here was really upset because I was thinking, what if they'd have been on the one that went to the mall?
That's true.
Santa? Or what if they'd have been somewhere else and she got left and somebody snatched her? So I was a little upset over that.
I would have been too.
Yeah.
So nothing like being a mama and your child being...
Mama bear definitely came out that time. So, yeah.
Is there such thing as a wife bear? Because I think you qualify for one of them too.
You paint the picture of me being so...
You scare me.
Oh, my goodness.
I saw your husband not long ago. And I patted him on the back.
I'm a gentle soul.
And I said, God bless you, man.
No, really.
God bless you.
No, really. I know he hates me when he...
Your husband does?
Doing these projects, I know he hates me being around because I'm so impatient. And when he does it, it's going to be done just right. To the T, but I'm just like want it done yesterday, and so I just.
Your husband don't even drink, and I hear he's off the wagon again. He's hitting the orange juice hard.
Oh goodness!
As we turn to our friends at Chet's Paint and Body, let me tell you, when it comes to somebody that helps you, this is the man. He's going to be honest about what he does and make your car look as good or better than it did before. 737-2961. You'll find him there, whether your car's been hit up by deer, maybe, and this happens a lot. I hear it at the body shop. Cows, when you pull in to feed your cows, they will come up and dent your truck and knock out a door, a fender. Chet will put it back, whether you've been hurt by a cow or a deer, whatever the case is. An occasional goat will do some damage too. Yeah. But Chet's Paint and Body there, whether you've had a deer slap the side of your truck or you've done the damage yourself. Maybe you backed into something or ran under something. That does happen. You're not paying attention at a red light and you let off the gas and bang.
Yeah.
That will be there.
That would be bad.
Aluminum beds, they'll fix that also. See them. Chet's Paint and Body for the best around, color matching that is out of this world. See them for the best of the best. They'll be there today, tomorrow, and that next day. Get your free estimate. They'll help you with all the insurance claims and work. That's at Chet's Paint and Body. Again, here in Center Hill, let them take care of you.
On June 30th, 2021, the FDA alerted the public that Philips recalled certain CPAP devices due to concerns regarding its polyester-based polyurethane sound abatement foam. This is a Class 1 recall, the most serious type of recall. Use of these devices may cause serious injuries or death. If you're diagnosed with long-term, permanent, and life-threatening health complications, your illness may be linked to your use of a Philips breathing device, and you may be entitled to compensation. Call Richard Swartz & Associates for a case evaluation today.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And Jan did send me a picture of her granddaughter. I'm trying to get and for Jan, for whatever reason, it's blurry. I'll give it a second here to come up. You may need to resend that to me.
Y'all talking about damage to vehicles.
Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Here she is. Let me show her. Isn't she just gorgeous?
She is.
So Jan, congratulations. That's your baby.
Mm-hmm. She's the daughter of Brian and Amy Temple. And so if you see them today, tell them congratulations for their daughter. Good job doing raising her. She's a very smart girl and a beautiful girl.
And you can't pick your grandparents, can you? No, you were going to say something else.
I was just going to say we were talking about damage to vehicles on Chet's commercial. And if you've ever been through the little drive-through zoo down around Brandon, I think it is.
Is that where that is?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I just don't know where.
Kind of beware because there are
Giraffes?
bison in there, or buffalo, and they will stick their head in your car, and they will also kick at your car too. Like if they're right by it, I know somebody tried to touch. We were watching one time. Somebody was sticking their hand out the window trying to touch, and they kicked and hit their car, like dented it. So you never know.
It's kind of like stopping at a
What's
red
gonna
light
cause
in Meridian and those people that are begging for money that attack your car. Oh, yeah, they'll dent it too.
Somebody sent me a video though of one of these drive-through zoos. It wasn't the local one. It was somewhere else. It was the funniest thing because these animals, you have like a little cup of food, and they will stick their head all the way in your car to eat out of the thing if you have it in the car. And it's the funniest thing. This video, this woman was having a fit in the back seat because that thing was
Years ago, up around Dollywood, there was a petting zoo there that we went, and you'd pay $2 for the cup of food. Kids enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, it's a very neat thing. The day we went, it was kind of a rainy day, so we need to go back when it's a pretty day and the animals are coming out more because I think they were staying under the trees.
I'd love to fill your trunk with sweet feed.
Yeah, that seems like something you do. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Today, Joe will meet with Putin as a last-minute effort to try to stop what is getting closer and closer. 190,000 troops are ready to strike Ukraine. What do we got, 6,000 maybe somewhere?
Yeah.
That's, oh, boy. Let's hope that things can be stopped and this can be averted. And they say that within 2 days, it could be at least 10,000 lives lost should this start. Let's pray that it does not. Regardless of who's right, who's wrong, we don't want the innocent hurt.
That's right.
By any means.
So when you say we have 6,000, we have 6,000 U.S. troops over there?
Yeah, that's the last number that I heard. They originally sent 3, and then they sent some more. And that I think that's more or less just to train and help the Ukraine bunch. It's not like we got a force that's going to go up and fight.
But they would be there.
They would be there. They're also saying this morning that if you're a United States citizen and you are in Russia, that you should leave. I would take heed and catch the next flight out immediately if it were me. If you're watching from Russia and you're an American, come home. Be smart about the situation. And I know that jobs take people all over the world. You can be in the oil industry and be sent to these foreign countries to work for a little while. You can be. It's just so much that can happen to you. People kidnap you, especially the higher up you are, and they'll want a ransom. If you've ever seen that movie Proof of Life, that stuff does happen.
Scary.
Prayers across that.
I don't want to leave the
And if you're
U.S. soul.
I mentioned this briefly this morning. If you're kind of like alfalfa and you're in the mood for love, Valentine's Day just happened, and you're looking for that sweetheart, there's people that'll swindle you and fool you. A 78-year-old guy in Virginia lost $600,000 to a sweetheart. She took the money and run. I think that was a song.
An online sweetheart.
Go ahead, take the money.
Yeah.
What was that song?
Go on, take the money.
That's it?
Yeah.
So you know it too.
Yeah.
But that does happen so much. And when it comes to the heart and emotions, people can get tricked. Send me a little money, and then they're going to get caught at the border and need more money before it's all said and done when they're trying to get to you. They never have intentions to get to you. And then there's some that that you can actually go out on a date and get swindled also.
I know there was a scam going on where some guy claimed that his wife had died. And do you remember?
No,
all
I've
that?
heard similar stories.
Yeah, I've heard similar stories too, but it's always kind of the same motive, that the person. But yeah, claimed his wife had died, and people were holding him. He needed money because these people had captured him or had taken him. I don't know. It was just a big thing, and people were going and sending money. I mean, just randomly sending money to him. And then he was promising that he was going to come and get them, and was interested in them, and he was going to come here and meet them and stuff. He was never planning on coming. It was probably somebody behind the keyboard that could have even been a woman claiming to be a man. I mean, people are doing that every day.
Now, there's a special out there, and it's called Tinder Swindler. I don't know if you watched this on Netflix. And it's about a rich guy that dates this woman. He's flashy, takes her to all the fanciest restaurants, wears Rolex, Rolls's, and all of this. And then in the end, it's a swindle to get her money. He's just using somebody else's money to get her. And I think he got $600,000 out of her. This stuff happens. I mean, they couldn't get more than $25 out of me, but I'd sure hate to give up my $25.
Yeah. I would too. $25 is $25.
But I'm telling you, the heart is probably one of the biggest things. And that's how, like, kids that grow up and never get a job and keep hounding their parents for money because, well, I just need a little bit more. They give in. And next thing you know, they can't even eat. They're down to living in a box with electricity barely on with a kid that won't get a job. Happens all across America.
Yep.
Canada, getting worse. They've pretty much put an end to it and arrested everybody. We hate to see all of that. Here's the scene here of somebody that's been arrested, a trucker. They're hauling them off by the dozens. Now,
Crazy.
from what I understand, Washington, D.C., are y'all ready for this? They're getting ready, and people, and this is where it goes back to they're comparing these people, they're freezing bank accounts and calling them terrorists. They just don't want to get the shot.
Right.
They didn't burn buildings. They didn't tear up towns. We're across town, also in Canada, where they were having these protests against pipelines. You see all that damage they done to equipment? Yeah. And then they done nothing to them, but are after the peaceful trucker that sat there.
Being able to freeze people's bank accounts just because they don't agree with what they're doing or not doing, that's scary. And if you don't think it can happen right here in this country, it can.
Yeah, think again.
And especially,
Now, today, they are reinstalling. Anybody remember that big fence that was up around Washington there, around the Capitol? Yep. They are reinstalling that because truckers are headed to Washington, and they want to protect the Capitol, they say. Now, I don't think that they would be vicious. I think truckers are part of American society. Most will stop and help you if you're in trouble. I've seen it happen many times. They're good people. We'll watch this closely, but they're installing fences thinking that they want to get near Biden. Not so sure all of that. Now, the next thing, if you haven't heard this story, and this is not by any means, before I get into this, to destroy anybody's business or try to hurt anybody's business, but it's the news, and you deserve to know what's happening. As a shopper, how do you feel about this before we spill the beans of what it is?
How do I feel about it? I'm kind of like...
You ain't going back?
Sickened. No, I mean... This isn't one of the stores that I shop at.
You frequent?
No, I don't, but we do have a few here, I think.
Yeah, and let me show you the picture here. This is Family Dollar that we're talking about. They are scattered all across the South, and it's competition to Dollar General. Now, again, they really hadn't dented Dollar General. Dollar General is big. It kind of started with one thing, and the next thing you know, there are everywhere more of them probably than there are Walmarts.
Yeah.
But the FDA has issued a warning this morning. This is a heads up. And again, let me repeat myself. This is not to hurt anyone's business. They have voluntarily, the company itself, done a recall. And why? They're recalling food items, diet supplements, cosmetics, and over-the-counter medications in 6 states. And that does include Mississippi. Why? Because they have found over 1,100 dead rodents in the factory where the distribution center.
Yeah, it said they found live rodents, dead rodents in various states of decay, rodent feces, dead birds, and bird droppings.
All this was in the West Memphis, Arkansas distribution center. Somebody called and complained. The FDA showed up, and sure enough, it was horrible.
Now, I mean, which I'm not trying to downgrade this to be nothing, but I would think that some of these things are packaged. I mean, I wouldn't think they're like wide open food or anything, but still, that's nasty.
It's canned, it's boxed.
It's still nasty. Because when you open a can, I mean, how many times have you opened a can and the lid fell down in the, you know what I'm saying? Or like drinks. You know, what if it was drinks? I've heard of that making people sick. Not at this particular store, but I've heard of drinks having like rodent droppings or something around the edge of them. That can make you sick. Because you put your mouth on the can.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a total of 404 stores affected by this. And again, they're doing this honestly as a good faith of recalling it. They wasn't forced to do this, but they're doing it back. You ought to know about that.
Of course, local stores, I mean, I'm sure they're not aware of that. If it's coming from a warehouse, they just know they're getting stuff. And
they have no way to control that.
Right.
This is just so sad. A lady trying to make a living, working part-time as a Uber driver, as they've got the film. She begged for her life of a guy that was in the car that murdered her. She begged him, told him, I have 4 children. Please spare my life. It didn't help. He murdered her anyway.
I've always, since all this Uber stuff started, this is one of the things that I was afraid of would happen. Because you're picking up strangers. I mean, it's just like,
Here she is. And here's the gentleman that is accused of killing her. He was 22 years old.
I couldn't do a job. I mean, I'm glad people are helping people out and doing jobs like that, I guess, but I just think that it's a very it'd be very stressful and worrisome if I was, picking up strangers. You don't know what they're going to do.
Johnny Lee had a song about that, picking up strangers.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you about the dangers. Yep.
See, look at it. A little moment in history there. But it is awful. People have to earn a living. And we've gotten to a point in the United States where they have no fear of the police. They have no fear of jail time, of what they'll get because, I'll get out before long.
I know.
And that increases crime. I saw this as a survey, and I frequent it a lot, the Nashville Scoop, where they report kind of like what we do here, what happens locally in Nashville. And they did a survey, what is the biggest deterrent in Nashville against crime? And it wasn't the police. It wasn't getting in trouble. It was having their face put in the news on their channel of fear of being publicly embarrassed. Found that pretty interesting there. Yeah. That's a few things happening this morning. We've got more coming up. Don't rush off. We're going to spill the beans on some more headlines here. Coming up with Scotty Ray Candace. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings. Fresh blueberries, $2.99 a pint. Fresh tomatoes, a 4-pack, $1.99. Cuties or Halos, a 3-pound bag, $5.99. Assorted Hormel chili, 15-ounce, $1.99. Kraft mac and cheese, 7.25-ounce, 4 for $5. And certified Angus beef T-bone steak, $9.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray Candace. It is President's Day, a national holiday.
Mm-hmm. And like you said earlier, we have former President Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
Watching this.
Hello. It was 1885, as we stroll back on history on this date, that, the Washington Monument was dedicated. It took years to build this, and they finally got it together, and it opened up on this day. It was dedicated. Now,
It's very beautiful.
Have you seen it?
No, I have never seen it in person, but it's really, really pretty.
Am I wrong? Because, as I say, I haven't been there. Is there a staircase to where you can go up in this? Isn't that windows up there?
It looks like windows, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you could.
The odds of getting me to go up in that are so slim.
Yeah, I don't
even
think you'd
funny.
be going up in there. I probably wouldn't be going up in there either.
But you've got to remember that 1885, they had some technology going to get all of that done in a time where we didn't have mechanical equipment to raise things up. That was some work that went on. It would be 1945 in history upon this date that we would lose someone that would be very near and dear to the Jewish people. The rest of us would learn about her experiences all because she wrote it down and her diary was found later. Anne Frank passed away on this date in a gas chamber in 1945 due to the Nazis. There's no other way to word that. If you don't know who I'm talking about, please pick up a book and discover what I'm talking about. History never needs to repeat itself. We go back to 1958. An old boy was in jail. He'd broke the law, and he was being treated as such. Johnny Cash would come later to do a concert, and he would stand there in the crowd and watch Johnny and want to be Johnny. As a matter of fact, it turned out good for him, unlike others, but he made it. Merle Haggard was transferred to San Quentin on this day back in 1958. When Merle sings those Branded Man and all those, well, he lived it. Straightened him up, too. Then he married Bonnie, and she straightened him up a little bit more. Then she married somebody else and still wouldn't go away and would be in his band forever. Child support, alimony right behind you for the rest of your life. But she was famous there. This lady has a birthday today. Who remembers, what was it? Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. I feel lucky. Mary Chapin Carpenter celebrates a birthday today.
Do you ever hear anything?
Not a word
that
out of
she's
her.
done lately?
Mm-hmm.
I used to like to listen to her though. Mm-hmm.
She struck me, and I have nothing to back this up, only by the songs that she wrote and produced, that I felt maybe she was a little bit on the liberal side. Maybe. I don't know her very well. and that she could probably whoop me in a bar fight. I felt that. I could be wrong. Mary, if you're watching, I'm so sorry if I'm wrong. Tell me. You don't think she?
I bet she could put a hurting on somebody. Yeah.
Be like KT Oslin backing you to a corner. Hey, Bobby. It was 2000. Do y'all remember this song? It was really his only hit that he had. He did come to Meridian, and he was the opening act for Asleep at the Wheel of a concert that lasted every bit of 6 minutes before the thunderstorm rolled through, and they had to write out checks and dole out the money as the buses drove off into the sunset. It was a nighttime concert where we had a thunderstorm, and in the clause for the Jimmy Rogers, it said if there's a thunderstorm, we get paid and we get to leave. And, well, they did. Chad Brock celebrates a birthday. It was 2000 that this song was popular. You remember that? She said yes, and I said wow. He ended up, at this point, he's now a disc jockey somewhere. His musical career didn't work out, so he went to being a disc jockey.
One-hit wonder type thing.
And the song was true. He moved into an apartment. Some old girl, mail came, and he went to return it to her where she moved to. And they fell in love for at least about 4 years and were married. After that, well, she divorced him. Could have been more than 4, but in the end, they did get a divorce. It wasn't a lasting thing.
So she said yes, then she said no.
No, I don't want you no more.
She said no.
You snore too loud, and I ain't putting up with it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that just, they don't realize what they're getting into when they say I do.
Yeah.
There's people that snore and talk in their sleep, and then their spouses just can't handle it and go, look, you got to go. Go sleep on the couch. And then he goes, no, I ain't sleeping on the couch. You go. I was here first.
For better, for worse.
For snoring and loud noises. That's truthfully, y'all all know that.
But there are people that snore really loud.
Angie tries to act like I do, but she says since my little heart procedure, I don't snore anymore. Weird. She said I snored up until I had my heart attack.
Huh. Well, I know snoring a lot of times can indicate sleep apnea. So
she went and got one of them little mask things.
Get it checked out because it's a real thing.
And I ain't gonna lie.
A lot of people stop breathing.
Have you ever dealt with one of those face mask things?
Yeah, my husband's got one.
Yeah, Angie's. I put it up to my face, and it was like a 280,000-mile wind blowing in my face, and I couldn't breathe. I was.
Yeah, some people say it's the best sleep in the world that they've had since they have gotten it, but it's not the case. Like,
she enjoys hers.
Yeah,
but
that's not always the case, though.
Old girl got some pressure.
Yeah.
Have you tried?
But no, because I'm so claustrophobic. He did put it up to my face one time, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't even handle that. I don't see how you handle that." But people, I'm telling you, if you snore really bad, you need to get it checked because, I mean,
well, you could lose your life.
You're stopping breathing.
Yeah,
at night.
That's what they say. Try it all out. It's just if it'll save your life, all worth it.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with having one. I just don't know if I would have to get. I don't know. I'd have to get used to it.
I bet you were that kid that didn't want to slide down the little tunnel at McDonald's as a kid because you had to go into the dark hole before you come at the end.
I don't like closed-in spaces.
You didn't do it, did you?
No, I did. I slid down slides and stuff, but when we have to get in that storm shelter at my mother's, I have to like just before I go in there.
Gosh, if I wasn't on air, I'd come over and drop a plank on top of it just to spook you.
And when I got out, I'd drop a plank on you. Yeah,
let's go back to
it's scary to me.
Bless your heart. I'm pulling for you.
Yeah, thank you.
1981, and all of us remember this. Gosh, it was a great song. It was a great movie, too. 1981, the number one song in America was Working 9 to 5.
What a way to make a living.
And Dolly had it going on. And boy, did they get the boss in that picture.
That was the funniest movie. I mean, I could watch it to this day and it would be funny.
Lily Tomlin, and I can't remember the rest of the actors that were in it, but they were funny.
Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda.
Jane.
Dolly Parton. And I don't remember the boss's name, but he was in Yellowstone. He was the guy's daddy. He was, what's his name? Daddy.
Right. What's his name?
Yeah.
Because I can't think of it anyway.
John Dutton's daddy.
Yeah.
Isn't that his name, John?
John Dutton.
Yeah. When they were sitting on the cliff and he put his head on, he took him to the cliff and gave him, was sitting there talking to him. I guess he was about to pass away.
Yeah. And he died there looking at that scene.
Yeah.
But he's been in a lot of movies, that guy. He was always fun. He also was in the Beverly Hillbillies as Mr. Drysdale.
Right.
Can't think of his actual real name, but he is good. Amanda tells you that she's the same way. She can't get in elevators.
I don't like elevators either.
Now, I'm okay in an elevator so long as them glass ones, I can't be handling that to where I can see the earth moving.
Yeah.
I have to put my head down because I'll fall out.
Yeah, I just don't like elevators. I mean, I go in them, but I don't like them. I'm always scared they're going to get stuck
They could.
in between floors.
I got stuck in
you know.
Anderson's parking garage in between floors once.
I think
Whoops.
if that happened to me, they'd have to sedate me because I would tear it up trying to get out.
Is that right? What Bill told us his name is Dabney Coleman. Is that correct? For the
That
actor?
does sound it should be right. Mhm.
We go back to, and this is out of sequence somehow or another. I didn't put it in the right order. We go back to 1955, and I still watch the reruns of this because, well, it was funny. Kelsey Grammer was born on this date. And, of course, that was his big show that we all watched. It was good. It was funny. And a sad loss, and it wasn't that long ago, at the age of 99, on this date, we lost this gentleman here. Billy Graham passed away.
It's Billy Graham. I used to love listening.
Billy, you know, you just can't find anything. He was a godly man. While others pretend to be, Billy walked the talk and whatever that saying. What's that saying?
Walk the walk, talk the talk.
That's it. Y'all knew where I was going
and
with
his
that.
son, is it Franklin?
Yeah,
Graham?
Franklin. Like him, too. Seems to be a real good guy as well. So
Bill Reinhardt said I was on that show. Not Bill Reinhardt, excuse me, Britt Gully. Bill Reinhardt said, she later said, no, I was looking at two comments side by side. But Britt Gully said I was on that show. What's he talking about? You know, was it 9 to 5? Is that what he's saying?
no. He have no idea.
Tell us when you're talking about, Britt.
Yeah, let us know. Snowden and Company, they'll help you out when it comes to looking for that home, and they have so many to choose from, and they go really quick as we go through the different people that use them, whether you're selling your home. Lamar and Diane chose to sell their home, and, well, Rachel and Alan decided to buy from them. There's people on both sides of the fence, and they represent you on both sides of this. Whether you're selling, they're going to get you the absolute most and get you the best deal that can be gotten. They have top sellers there, and they're adding to this daily of folks that want to come to work for them. They even got some folks that they're building homes for. See them on that aspect of it. Find your dream home, whether your dream now is something smaller or maybe you're in your earlier part with youngins everywhere and you got to have bedrooms galore. They've got those.
If you're thinking about buying too, now is a great time because the interest rates are still low.
Yes, they are.
Because that will be climbing.
Yes, sir, Bob.
But they'll be waiting on you. That's
Any
right.
size that you're looking for with the square footage, see them big, large, small. They can even help you out if you're looking for a double wide. Ways to save money. Land only, you looking for that? Well, Snowden & Company does that. Visit them today online at snowdenrealestate.com. You can find out. They'll be there at 5 o'clock today. They're going to be closed on Saturday by appointment only and closed all day on Sunday to head off to church like you do. You'll find them. Again, call them at 453-3937.
Remember, one call, that's all. I'm Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And as we get clarification from Britt, it was the Asleep at the Wheel concert that he was talking about he played on.
Okay.
I can still remember. Britt, I think you were standing there with me and Carolyn Smith as we watched those taillights leave Meridian, Mississippi with all that cash. Oh, that was an outdoor show out at Bonita Lakes is where that was, down in that little cubby. It was beautiful, except for the rain and the contract. A lot has gone on in Meridian through the years. Oh, let's see here. Did y'all hear about the other death that happened over the weekend? Anybody connected to this guy? You might know too much.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Maxwell lady is still hanging around. What? That should not be. You know what
Play
I'm
on
still
words.
alive. Yeah, I didn't mean to. Yeah.
Jeffrey, his what they called his right-hand man that brought women to him, has been found in a jail cell hanging over the weekend. He knew too much. And
Yeah,
the
that's what it
brother
kinda
of
it's what it kind of seems like. Yeah.
Maxwell's brother keeps saying he's worried about his sister's safety,
Yeah.
that something may happen to her. There are a lot of rich and influential people from all aspects of the world that are connected to this case.
A lot.
Don't want anybody talking.
I think we would be majorly surprised at some of the people probably that are connected.
Clients that you might call them.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, the Queen caught the COVID. Have y'all been tracking
I saw that. I hope she's going to be okay. 'Cause,
95 is not a good age to be getting COVID. And did I understand it right that Prince Charles may have given it to her?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
That's not 100% confirmed. That's a rumor that I heard.
It says she has mild cold-like symptoms. But, and we hope it just stays that way.
Yeah. Don't take much. At 95 period, you don't need a cold. You don't need anything.
Yeah.
We do wish her a speedy recovery. Also, over the weekend, of course, they had down in Quitman, they had the big battle, the reenactment that happened, and John Wayne's grandson was there. We also learned that this weekend, the guy that is responsible for giving John Wayne the look, who decked him out in all his clothing in all the movies that made him the Duke, has passed away. His clothes designer has passed away. He was 84 years old. His name was Luster Bayless.
All right. Goodness.
That's not a big bang, but I thought you might want to know that. Someone who is so well connected to a legend such as John Wayne.
Yeah.
Let's see here. You don't understand people that do crimes like this. And we go to Las Vegas for this next crime. An elderly man getting off a bus. Can y'all all visualize this? A woman behind him who is a mere 28 years old takes her foot and pushes the elderly man. He hits the concrete and he dies. She's been sentenced to 8 to 20 years in prison.
It seems like I remember that was in 2019.
Yeah, she finally got her sentence.
I remember when that happened thinking, oh my goodness, that was horrible.
But, with this being said now, here's the video to this right there, how he was pushed out. Y'all see that? They're going to do the clip of this again. She pushed him.
What, that makes me like.
Makes you mad. Here he goes. He died from that.
And this is what gets me is people are standing around and nobody does anything.
Nothing. Now, on top of this, she's being sentenced to 8 to 20 years, but that's not to say that she won't be paroled in 2 to 3 years from now, or maybe 6 months. We don't know.
And did he pass away?
He died. 8 to 10 years for murder. And that's all that is. Elderly cannot protect themselves. I don't care who you were, you wouldn't have seen that coming. He had no way to get his arm, and that's the only thing that would save a head injury is to get your arm up. Is it going to get to the point to where you have to wear a helmet wherever you go, like a bicycle?
It makes my blood boil when anybody does anything to elderly people or children.
And we go to our next story as I brought up a helmet here. We go to Seattle, Washington again, to where there's no such thing. That's the lawless city of America is what I call it. They've pretty much unplugged everything and given it to criminals. But they're changing a law. A law is that if you wear a bicycle, ride a bicycle, you have to have a helmet on. Now, I rode as a kid a bicycle. I never had to have one, and I'm okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
I do understand that bicycles now go faster than they used to, and there's racing, and that there's laws that you have to, like a motorcycle, that if you're in an accident, you're okay. But they had a law in Seattle that says if you rode a bicycle, period, in the city, you had to have it. They're now calling it a racist law, and it's against homeless, is what they're saying, because the homeless can't afford a bicycle helmet, and they got a bicycle. So they're changing the law to fit a certain group of people. They're doing away with that. Is that right, or is it wrong? Now, again, I'm not a big advocate of bicycle helmets to begin with, because I didn't grow up doing that.
We didn't grow up wearing them.
But
I'm going to tell you.
it is a law.
Yeah. If it's a law, it's a law. You don't.
I don't know what to think about that. Now, had this, is it a law that needed to be changed? Am I wrong on that? But they're saying they're changing it because they felt it was racist. That's just small thoughts. And if you have an opinion on that, I would love to hear from you on this. Now, I don't watch MSNBC ever. I try to even, I think you can even set up your television now on favorites to where you don't have to look at the 298,000 other channels that you don't care to watch. But that Rachel Maddow, is that her name? She's taken hiatus. Did I say that word right?
Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, she's the short-haired girl that works on the channel. And I'll show you her picture.
Yes.
Here she is here. She's taken a break from being on television. And believe it or not, the ratings have shrunk even lower since she's taken vacation. And it's an unlimited time that she's going to be off. She doesn't know how long. But I don't watch the network because they seem to have different values than me.
Yeah.
A lot of people may like this. And let's bring up this next old boy. I want to show this. Los Angeles Rams. Now, I did not watch the Super Bowl because they do things that are, again, against my way of thinking of what's right in America. You may have loved it and forgiven them and all that good stuff. But let's take a minute here, and I want to show you all this of what the quarterback done. They're out taking pictures, and a photographer is there, and she falls down, and I want you to watch what he does. Let's cut to this. Here he is on stage.
He says, "Oh my gosh," and turns his head.
You see that? She falls off the stage. As you look at this, here's the photographer right there. Now, does that show you what kind of character of man he is? Fell off the stage, he done nothing.
I mean, stuff just makes my jaw drop. I'm just like, I don't understand people.
But that's one of those things that I think you ought to know what happens when you're cheering. To me, because sports stars, for whatever reason, are looked at as heroes. Mm-hmm. And they have abilities, I agree. But they are not somebody that is up on a pedestal. And then you have somebody that do that.
People lack compassion. People, I mean, I don't understand that. I would have jumped off.
Yeah.
Trying to help her.
You dropped your drink, spilled it all over you, trying to lend a hand to somebody that needed it.
Yeah, take another sip, say, "Oh my gosh," and take a sip and turn right. That's crazy.
Tell you another thing.
Low class. That's what somebody.
That's a good way to put it there.
It is.
This is another headline here. Do you remember AOC that was taking up for the 12 shoplifters? Do y'all remember that? She was taking up for them. Yeah. Well, lo and behold, guess what? Let's see. They were repeat offenders. Arrest for assault, robbery, arson, and strangulation that she is protecting. Thought y'all to know that also. That's who has been elected to Congress.
I'm kind of tired of her mouth anyway.
I mean,
it's just like she. Does anybody else get the feeling that she's kind of up there just for like theater type stuff?
Well, she's there, and she's planning on staying.
Promote drama. I don't know. Yeah.
She's in that category as we watch what happens in White. And the only way to change it, but the bad part is there's likely not going to be a change of her being thrown out because of the way the counties are divided and the districts are done of who votes in those. That area of town that she lives in, her district, is very liberal, so the odds of her ever being ousted are slim to none, so to speak. And I don't know any other way to word it. That's the best way to say. She's probably there to stay for another 20 years. Let's turn and talk about our friends at Maple's One-Stop Shop. Clean and convenient. I said it kind of wrong there. But that was just so much going on there. As we get some more specials today, and let me tell you about this that they're going to be having here. Breakfast is well underway there, right there at the St. Paul store. They've got a lot going on. We'll be telling you about the new lunch menu that they've got out. We'll add that tomorrow. And if you're looking for some ham, some breakfast there, eggs, grits.
Stop and get breakfast on your way to work, school.
But it's a full-blown menu that is now available there. Check it out. And again, Causeyville is going to be adding this very soon. They're still working behind the scenes to get everything ready. All there ready for you. A hot lunch with plenty of great food. See them. And, of course, as always, the Loyalty to a Coffee program. If you're looking for coffee and you drink it a lot, get your 6-cup free. Visit them. They'll tell you more about it in all their locations with cold drinks and moon pies and pizza and things of that nature. They'll help you up there with other locations there at Bonita and Pine Springs. See them? Lottery tickets and a whole lot more. 6 locations from Bonita Chevron, Pine Springs, Causeyville to Last Chance Tobacco, Broadmoor, and 31st Avenue. See them today. That's our friends there at Maple's One-Stop Shop.
Don't hesitate. Call me. I am Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings. Fresh blueberries, $2.99 a pint. Fresh tomatoes, a 4-pack, $1.99. Cuties or Halos, a 3-pound bag, $5.99. Assorted Hormel chili, 15-ounce, $1.99. Kraft mac and cheese, 7.25-ounce, 4 for $5. And certified Angus beef T-bone steak, $9.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And we're coming up on the top of the hour. We got about 5 minutes left.
5 minutes.
Best 5 minutes of your day right here. The last few minutes where we tell you what's going on. Let's see here. I was trying to remember. Do we got any? We've got the parade coming up in Meridian on the 26th. That's going to be the Mardi Gras parade that takes the streets of downtown Meridian. If you like beads, I'm sure there's going to be some chunking going on.
Candy, I'm sure.
Yes. Always good there. So I hope you can make it out for that. We'll get the times and the layout of everything that happens there. Let's see what else stirring around. A Kentucky mom found her missing 4-year-old son. The body of this 4-year-old has been found. Are you up to date on this? Mm-mm. He's been missing. They have now charged the mother and boyfriend for his death. Mm-mm. Now, you'd conceivably try to think, how could you ever harm a 4-year-old child, any child? I can't understand how people do this. Our minds can't wrap the way around things that criminals do.
These
Sick people.
Monsters. I mean, that's what they are. You harm a child, take a life of a child, you're a monster, I'm sure.
All I can say is I hope Jesus wrapped around him. I just, we go back to a Florida doctor. He avoids jail. And people are mad in Florida over this. And it makes you, I've always said, our jail system is only good as our judicial system of what the judges do.
Yeah.
And we go here, the headline, Florida doctor, 47, avoids jail and is handed probation. Again, did y'all hear me? Probation, as he's arrested for strangling his girlfriend and murdering his own father.
Why would you even get probation? What would you even get out of it? What is going on? Look, I'm going to tell you what. The only thing that's going to help this country right now is God.
It is.
That is the only thing that is going to help this country. And prayer.
Oh, your friend here, Joy, do you pronounce her name Bear? Is that how you say her name?
Behar.
Behar is back in the news. She's being branded a hypocrite. Can y'all imagine her doing something that she is against? Mm-hmm. You know, she's all about this mask thing and says you got to wear them. And then, well, she's caught hours after saying that of walking around with not any on. Do what I say and not what I do, I think is what they kind of promote there.
Right.
Most are that way. They preach this about the mask thing, and then they themselves don't like it and don't wear it when they're out in public and don't think they'll get caught with a picture being snapped.
I think a lot of that is just drama that they're trying to promote. I mean, I just think it's good news talk for them. You know, it's a good subject for them to just keep on carrying on about. I mean, seriously, I think that's what it is. When they don't enforce it themselves, I mean...
You brought up the word God a minute ago, and this has to be the only reason that can explain this. A boater fell out of the boat. Mm-hmm. He falls in the ocean. He swims 5 hours. And let me show you. His name is Scott Thompson. Let me show you his picture. Here's Scott. How did he make it? And this is almost like my friend Flicka, or what was the dolphin that used to have on the show that Dennis Weaver was on? Flipper. Was that it?
Flipper.
That it? Mm-hmm. This little critter here saved him. Stayed with him the
That's
entire
a seal.
Seal. Yeah. Stayed with him 5 hours till he got to an oil rig.
Oh, goodness.
Swimming non-constantly. He was saved by them, pulled out of the water. Can you believe that? So that's a little bit of good news today. I wish I had more of those to share and that we had all smiles and everything going on.
Well,
what happens
we need more good stories like that.
We do.
We do.
We hope more will come along.
Yes.
What happens when you get a new job and you're a security guard and don't know what you're doing and you're bored? You think, well, I'll just scribble right here for just a minute. Turns out the painting was worth $740,000 and the security guard drew on it. It is now worth $0.
Put eyes on.
Yeah, here's the picture. That picture, I don't know how it could ever be valued at $740,000.
Well, I think that about a lot of different
Art?
Pieces of artwork. Yeah, I'm like, what is that? And like, did a 6-year-old do that? And it's worth $1 million.
But that happened in Russia. He'd gotten him his new job, and well, it went south after that. He's no longer employed. Yeah. But who would pay that?
So I wonder, is he having to compensate for the loss of that?
I don't doubt he could ever pay
the damage, I guess.
Thank y'all for watching. We're going to be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, 8 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Have a good day.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by